Greetings, friends. We have returned because we want to talk about Hart audio cables. Now, I just did a video, an interview with James Alvarado, the founder, the head honcho, the all-around nice guy from Hart Audio. He created Hart Audio, HAC. And I purchased two of their products. I purchased their cable kit, their connection kit, and I purchased a ZMF/audeze cable. And Hart also sent me for free the M1570 cable with the monolith pinouts. And this works perfectly well with the M1570, does not cause any overcurrent protection issue. So here's the thing. I was skeptical about the Hart audio cable shtick, right? Why not just make a regular cable like this? This is a peri-app cable. Why not just make a regular cable? You got your two mini XLRs, that'll go into your headphone, and then you got your XLR that'll go into your amplifier. Why not just do this? Why this whole convoluted stuff? This makes no sense. It costs more money, right? But it doesn't. So I'm not here to try to sell you on Hart audio cable. I am instead just going to tell you factually what I have found. And I submit to you that at the end of all this factual information, you are yourself going to say, this might actually be worth trying. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that Hart audio cables are about half the price of peri-app cables. Peri-app cables go from, I think, about $70, $75 all the way to about $100 or so, roughly speaking. Very good quality cables, no doubt. Hart audio cables start at $27. They're all 4.5 feet long for headphone cables. They all seem to have the same type of width, circumference. So this is the ZMF audeze cable. And this, the candy-colored one, is the M1570 cable. They have exactly the same circumference, as far as I can tell. Yes, exactly the same circumference. They have great sheathing, so it looks and feels super professional. I mean, it looks great. When you compare it with peri-app cables, I mean, peri-app cables look and feel fantastic and robust as well. There's nothing wrong with peri-app cables and their construction. I think that they're fantastic. But in comparison, the Hart audio cable is about half to a third the size of the peri-app cable. Maybe you'll be able to see this in the video, but as you can tell here, hopefully, it's about half to a third of the circumference of the peri-app cable, which means that this is thicker, bigger, heavier. This is smaller, lighter, and potentially easier to use. So when you take a look at these cables, you realize that they are indeed very, very good. They just feel good in your hand, in my hand. I don't see any rips, I don't see any tears. I don't see any manufacturing faults at all. And I looked at both of these cables for a very long time. So the mini XLR that go into the headphones, they have these metallic connections. It's no plastic here. That's all metal. Now with peri-app, what they do is they have, looks like red electrical tape or something. Maybe it's a rubber ring, but it looks, they've got it wrapped around the right lead to designate that this goes into the right. That's fine, no issues. Hart Audio has actual R and L designations. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. That's the attention to little details. So I would expect a small company that's selling cables for, $37 to have, tape to designate which one's right, which one's left. And that would be totally fine with me. I don't have an issue with that. But here it is, you see that it's R and L on all of them. It has it on this, and it has it on this, on the other cable. You look at the Y split down here, and the Y split has another metal splitter, right? So you have the two leads going left and right, and then it comes down here and joins together into this metal thingy thing. Barrel. It's the barrel. And you can tell that it's metal. Now, I don't know if that's carbon, whatever, fiber? Is it carbon fiber? I don't know what it is, but it has that kind of look to it. It looks and feels pretty sturdy. But the real thing, the real reason why Hart Audio is different from Periapt, other than the price, is this. And you might say to yourself, wait a second, isn't that the same? Doesn't this go into the headphone? No. So, Hart Audio uses mini XLR as an end connection. So the parts that go into your headphones, in this case, the M1570, it's mini XLR. That's just the way the headphones are. But let's say you have some other pair of headphones. You have a pair of headphones that uses 3.5 millimeter or 2.5 millimeter left and right. Okay, so imagine that this is 2.5 millimeter left and right. That would go into the headphone. The other end is always going to be a mini XLR. But you say to yourself, what amplifier has mini XLR? None that I'm aware of. Maybe one or two out there somewhere, but none that I'm aware of. This is where Hart Audio's system comes in. They have a system. So the buying process of their cables is 2 steps. Number 1, you pick the cable you want. In this case, a ZMF cable. You pick the cable you want, and then you also pick the connection type you want to use for your various amplifiers. All right? This is the $75 Hart Audio connection kit. I paid $75 for this. It comes in a very nice, sturdy plastic hard shell case, which is brand new for Hart Audio. They were using some other see-through plastic container before. James Alvarado wasn't particularly happy with it. Went out and brought this instead, and he says it's much better. It's an improvement over the old one. I don't know whether it is or not. Didn't get the old one, but this one is fantastic. I think it's extra cost that you have to pay for if you want the actual case. Nicely padded on the inside, and then you get all of these. The kit comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cables, and let's go through them. You get a standard balanced XLR terminator, a 1/4 inch, a TRRS 3.5 millimeter. No, I'm sorry, that's a 4.4 millimeter. A 3.5 millimeter, a TRRS 3.5 millimeter, and a 2.5 millimeter. Okay, so 2.5, TRRS 3.5, regular 3.5, a 4.4, a 1/4 inch, and an XLR. This covers every single type of connection type you will have. Done. You will never run into a digital audio player, an amplifier, an amp DAC combo, nothing that will ever get in your way in the future. Let's say that you have a shit Magni, and the Magni only has a 1/4 inch out. But in the future, you decide that you are going to buy an iFi Zen DAC, and you buy the iFi Zen DAC. It too has a 1/4 inch out, but it also has a 4.4 millimeter out. But it's for balanced. Now, how do you do this? You would have to go out and buy another cable for your headphone. Let's say, I don't know, in this case, the 1570. You have a cable already for the 1/4 inch, but you really want to try these balanced. And how do you do balance with a 4.4? Well, you got to go out and buy another cable that has a 4.4 terminator. And depending on where you go, let's say you go to Periapt, you already bought one of their ZMF or 1570 cables for $75, $80 that ends in regular XLR, but you need a 4.4, so you spend another $75, $80 on top, and you get one more cable, but this time 4.4 millimeter. And this is how the whole cable journey begins. You need one, and then you have another amplifier. You need to buy another cable to fit into that amplifier, and so on and so forth, and blah, 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 blah. It's a never-ending story. But with this kit, you are able to plug and play into whatever source, whatever amplifier you have. You will never again have an issue. So what happens is, let us say for the moment, for the sake of argument, that I'm sitting here happy as a clam using my Magni. And then I buy the Zendak. And I desperately want to try the balance connection. How do I do it? Easy. Take this out, put in the 4.4, plug it in, and we're ready to go. That's it. Let's say I want to test. Let's say for a moment that I want to test the Zendak versus the, I don't know, monolith amplifier. And I want to do balanced versus unbalanced. So what I can do here is I can hot swap between this and this. Back and forth, back and forth. This is what I can do all day long. So now you can disregard the need to have multiple cables for various amplifiers that you have and just get one cable that you really like, pick out whatever color you want, and get either one of these or a whole kit for $75. Now one of these I think costs $12. I think it's about $12. A whole set is, like I said, $75. This is the system. And it makes complete sense for crazy people like me. Because I have lots, not just here, but everywhere. I have lots of amplifiers, and they all have different connections. And if I have one pair of headphones or two pairs of headphones or three pairs of headphones, it can easily become very unmanageable and extremely expensive to get a cable for the M1570, a cable for the M1070, a cable for the Hi-Fi Man Sundara, that's 1/4 inch. And then now I get an XLR and I want to try it with balance, all three of them. And so I got to buy 3 more cables with XLR. And then one day I get the Zendak and I want 4.4, and then I buy 3 more. So I've got 3, then I had 6, then I had 9, and then 12, and then a never-ending story of cables. But with the Hart audio cable version of reality, you buy one cable that you like, trick it out whatever way you want, and then you just get either the kit or you just pay $12 for one of these connectors. And you pay another $12 when you think you want another one. So that's the system. And I think that it works pretty darn well. Now the connection itself is sturdy. I mean, it's made from the same stuff, the same type of cording, the same type of sheathing as the cable itself. It feels really professional. It's all metal, and it's got this gnarly little bit on the 1/4 inch you can feel. And on the 4.4, it's got 2 gnarly little bits here that you can feel. And on the smaller ones, the 3.5 and the 2.5, it's got this, fake carbon fiber stuff. I seriously doubt it's real carbon fiber because that's super expensive. It's all metal. The mini XLR ends are all metal. Everything just looks and feels so darn stellar. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I find that the Hart audio cable system makes sense. In the long run, it makes a whole lot of sense. For those people who are worried about getting too many cables, getting a Hart audio cable fixes a lot of issues if you have multiple sources. Now, if you don't have multiple sources and you only have one headphone, then maybe the Hart audio cable really isn't your thing. Maybe you want to go with Periapt or some other brand or whatever you want to do. Or because you want the cheaper price from Periapt, or because you want the lighter build from Periapt, or you just like the whole idea of Hart audio over Periapt, maybe you'll choose Periapt. It's totally up to you. Now, if you were to ask me what is my personal preference, I like both. I've been using Periapt for a year, and I just last week, got my Hart audio kit. And I have to tell you, I would be hard-pressed to choose between the two. The only thing that really bothers me about Hart audio is that the length of their cables is limited to 4.5 feet. Now, if you message Hart Audio and you say, I want 7 feet, they'll do it for you. I mean, they'll charge you a little bit more, as will Periapp if you ask for a new length. They'll charge you a little bit more, but that's to be expected anywhere. Their standard cables, unless you specifically message Hart Audio, is going to be 4.5 feet, which may be plenty for you or not. My preference is about 7 feet. Other than that, I really cannot find anything else to gripe about, to complain about with these cables, with this kit. So if you were concerned, if you were worried, if you were, I don't know, interested in Hart Audio cables, this is totally unique. And I think for those individuals who like to hot swap, test A and B, or you just want something unique that's different and not have to spend out the nose for it, Hart Audio seems to be really hitting that sweet spot. 37 bucks for a cable, $12 for a connection, or 75 for the whole darn kit. That ain't bad. I mean, it's not horrible. And in fact, it's less pricey than, say, a new pair of headphones off of Massdrop, depending on which headphone you buy. I hope that this has been of some help, that if you were interested in Hart Audio cable, now you get to see, hey, look, these are what their cables look like. These are fantastic. And they come with a great connection kit. And you've seen in real world how they would actually work. And if you're at all interested in checking out Hart Audio cables, go to their website and take a look. Buy it, don't buy it, totally up to you. But hey, you gotta admit, it's at least unique, which is nice to see for a change. Take care.